Do you want to draw just like the Invader ZIM art style? I can help with that. Hi, I'm Flamgo. I'm the art director of Invader ZIM Lost and Found, where we produce official-looking episodes such as Squishy Hugger of Worlds and Top of the Line. It is my job to teach people these things. Welcome to the third episode of Art School. Today's subject, Linework. Let's get into it. Lots of 2000s cartoons have a distinct look to them, one that makes them stand out from the rest. Invader ZIM is one of the best examples, as it often utilizes bold lines to help the characters pop. But wait, when I try to do thick outlines, it doesn't look right, and how come it looks different from promotional art? In this episode, I'll be showing you how they do line work in the Season 2 style, and in the stock art style. First order of business, the series style. Before you get into any fancy line weight methods, here are some rules. 1. Do not use any shape or line tools on characters. If you look closely, everything is hand-drawn. Soapy Waffles used line and curve tools, which is one of the biggest giveaways of it being a fan animation and not the real thing. The lines are too perfect. However, you can definitely use a line tool for backgrounds. 2. Use a slightly textured brush. I've seen lots of Invader ZIM fan animations that try to mimic the style where the line texture looks too perfect, so it's easier to tell immediately. Turns out, one of the things holding you back is using a clean pen. What you should use to get the style just right is a brush with a slight warble and no taper. Here's a brush QR code for IBIS Paint users. Got it? Good! Here's how to make your line art cool. Start out with your drawing that has no line weight, but also be careful that the lines aren't super thin. And you may notice that the lines vary in thickness. Thick lines are mostly reserved for exterior outlines. On more uniquely built characters, the exterior outlines are pretty much the same thickness on their full bodies. But for main characters, and characters with more predictable builds, they go crazy on the head outline specifically, have the core body outlines thicker too, and the limbs are kept thin. Even so, the line thickness flares the closer you get to the top of the head, and gets thinner down towards the neck.
Now, another important thing to know when it comes to the Season 2 style is how they do lines. So with lines, it sticks out the most in the head. They're thickest in the head. So what you could do is kind of just draw a little guide, and the lines also flare a little bit the higher up you go. Just like you see, it goes a little diagonal-ish. Also have the eyes stick out a little bit.
The heads are what are accentuated most. It's nothing too detailed. Keep in mind, the show style is designed to be animated in. Now for stock art, otherwise known as promotional art. It's a bit different. More complicated, since it isn't designed for animation. Luckily, we have a sheet that breaks down the stock art line style from Brian Konietzko, the show's art director. Let's break this down. First and foremost, the line texture for stock art are smooth, so go back to a cleaner digital brush without the warble. Just like the show, there's thick exterior outlines and thin interior outlines. On the outside of the shape, you would have jutting, sharp corners. However, inside of the shape, any corners are rounded off. Same thing applies to curves. On the outside, you edge it up, make it a little more prickly, and it stays smooth on the inside. Unlike the show, you would also ease the transition from thick to thin lines like so. You'd have them blend and fade into each other more, rather than the abrupt transitions you would do in the show style. You'll also notice that they say to keep lots of variety in the line weight. One of the ways they keep variety in the line weight is to taper the thickness when a shape meets into a point. Also a specific note, when you're drawing Dog Suit Gur, for some reason in stock art they do scratchy lines on Gur's eyes. I'm not sure why they do it nowhere else, but if you're working in the stock art style, just make sure you give the Dog Suit Gur's eyes prickly lines. If you want to put your newly learned skills to use, you can join the Invader ZIM Lost and Found Discord server and help us animate our own episodes in the Season 2 art style. Look forward to the next episode where we will be covering a very important topic, and that is expressions. So stay tuned if you want to draw ZIM-style faces. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode.